Good evening. Welcome back to the Bible Study Tour, episode 57. If you haven't yet, then please comment and subscribe to my channel by shooting hit the notification bell when we're notified when the next Bible video is out. And leave a like if God needs to encourage you. Today we're looking at Leviticus chapter 10. And its title, The Death of Nadab and Abihu. Okay, as always, we start at verse 1. I'll go all the way to the end. It's verse 20. Okay, with all being said, let us begin the reading of the scriptures. Alright. Here we go. Now Nadab and Abihu, sons of Aaron, each took his censer and put fire in it, and laid incense on it, and offered unripe fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. And fire came out from before the Lord, and consumed them. And they died before the Lord. Then Moses said to Aaron, "This is what the Lord has said. Among those who are near me, I will be sanctified. And before all people, I will be glorified." And Aaron held his peace. And Moses called Michelle and Elizabeth, the sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said to them, "Come near, carry your brothers away from the front of the sanctuary and out of the camp." So they came near and carried them in their coats out of the camp, as Moses had said. And Moses said to Aaron and Eleazar and Ithamar his sons, "Do not let the hair of your heads hang loose, and do not tear your clothes, lest you die. And wrath come upon all the congregation. Bless your brothers, the whole house of Israel. Bewail the burning that the Lord has kindled. And do not go outside the entrance of the tent of meeting, lest you die. For the anointing oil of the Lord is upon you." And they did according to the word of Moses. And the Lord spoke to Aaron, saying, "Drink no wine or strong drink, you or your sons with you, when you go into the tent of meeting, lest you die. It shall be a statute forever, throughout your generations. You are to distinguish between the holy and the common, and between the unclean and the clean. You are to teach the people of Israel all the statutes that the Lord has spoken to them by Moses." Moses spoke to Aaron and to Eleazar and Ithamar, his surviving sons, "Take the grain offering that is left of the Lord's food offerings, and eat it unleavened beside the altar, for it is most holy. You shall eat it in a holy place, because it is your due, and your sons' due, from the Lord's food offerings. For so I am commanded. But the breast that is waved, the thigh that is contributed, you shall eat in a clean place. You and your sons and your daughters with you, they are given as your due. And your sons due from the sacrifice of the peace offerings of the people of Israel. The thigh that is contributed, and the breast that is waved, they shall bring with food offerings of the fat pieces to wave for a wave offering for the Lord, and it shall be yours, and your sons with you as a due forever, as the Lord commanded." Now Moses diligently inquired about the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it was burned up. And he was angry with Eleazar and Ithamar, the surviving sons of Aaron, saying, "Why do you not eat in the sin offering, and the place of the sanctuary, since it is a thing most holy, and has been given to you, that you may bear the iniquity of the congregation and make atonement for them for the Lord?" Behold, its blood was not brought into the inner part of the sanctuary. You certainly ought to have eaten it in the sanctuary, as I commanded. And Aaron said to Moses, Behold, today they offered their sin offering and their burnt offering before the Lord. And yet such things as these have happened to me. If I had eaten the sin offering today, would the Lord have approved? And when Moses heard that, he approved. All right. That was a interesting chapter. All right. Now we should move on to the explanations, starting with the explanation verses 1 through 3. Aaron's 2 eldest sons burned an offering of incense in an unauthorized way to the Lord, and God killed them with fire of his wrath for their disobedience. Then Moses told Aaron that the Lord said that among the people he would be sanctified and glorified before the people. He would be sanctified and glorified before them. Never mind. Aaron's 2 sons dishonored and disobeyed God by making an offering in the wrong way. Aaron's sons could have done this because they wanted to end the ordination ceremony with a grand finale, or they were just careless and forgot the laws God commanded and committed an irreverent act. The Lord wants us to honor, respect, fear, and glorify him above everything, because he is the Lord of everything and deserves all the glory. Obedience is how we show our love for God, and is the key to living the Christian life. As believers today, we need to honor and glorify God in all we do, and rely on the Spirit, so others can come to know the Lord, while they see God's Spirit do in us. We also need to ask God for forgiveness when we have sinned against him. Alright, moving on to explanation verses 4 through 7. Then Moses called Aaron's cousins and told them to carry the dead bodies of Aaron's sons away from the tabernacle and out of the camp. Moses told Aaron and his 2 remaining sons to not let their hair hang loose or tear their priestly garments, lest they die and bring judgment on the entire congregation. Moses also said to let the whole nation mourn the loss of Aaron's sons. Then Moses warned Aaron and his sons not to leave the tabernacle with the Lord's anointing oil, so they wouldn't die. After the incident, Moses used this opportunity to warn Aaron and his remaining sons to make sure they did everything the Lord commanded and not carelessly commit an irreverent act. God said these things for his glory and for their own good, because he loved Aaron and his sons. Moses warned the people to mourn the loss of Aaron's sons because the consequences of sin are very tragic. He also wanted to remember it as an example of why you don't disrespect or dishonor God. Alright, moving on to explanation verses 8 through 11. The Lord told Aaron not to drink any wine or any alcoholic beverage when he went to the tabernacle, lest he die, as a statute forever. He was to distinguish between the holy and the common, and the clean and unclean. Aaron was supposed to teach all these statutes to the people. Aaron was not supposed to drink any alcoholic drinks in the tabernacle, because alcohol influences people to do foolish things, like our flesh influences us foolishly to sin. Alcohol could represent temptation because of the fact that it influences you to sin and make stupid decisions. The reason why it was declared unclean is because alcohol makes a person sin against God, like Satan. Alcohol can also make Aaron and his sons commit irreverent acts in the tabernacle. God also didn't want Aaron and his sons to drink alcohol because it leads to them committing irreverent act irreverent acts against God. It's not a sin to drink alcohol, but it is a sin to get drunk. Alright, moving on to explanation verses 12 through 15. Then Moses told Aaron and his sons to take the leftovers from the Lord's grain offering and eat it beside the altar because it was most holy. They were supposed to eat it because it was their portion for the Lord's grain offering. They were also to eat the breast and thigh of the animal offered as a peace offering by an Israelite. And the entire priestly family could eat it as their due. The offered thigh and breast had to be brought with the food offerings to be weighed before the Lord, and it would become theirs. The Lord gave Aaron and his family a portion of the offerings as food for them that was most holy, because it was a gift from him. Moses wanted them to eat the rest of their portions that weren't sacrificed. Alright, moving on to the final explanation, verses 18 through 20. 16 through 20. Moses persistently asked about the goat of the sin offering, and the goat was burned up. Then Moses got angry at Aaron's sons for not eating the meat of the sin offering and the place of the tabernacle, because it was most holy, and they needed to bear the sin of the nation, make atonement before God. They could eat it because its blood was not brought into the most holy place. Then Aaron told Moses that they offered the sin offering and burnt offering, and asked the Lord, and asked if the Lord would have approved of him eating it that very day. Then Moses approved of Aaron after saying that. The reason Moses was so upset about the burning of the goat for sin offering is because with Aaron and his son's portion for them to eat. The reason they were able to eat it is because the blood of the goat was smeared on the bronze altar outside the sanctuary. Or if the blood was smeared inside the tabernacle, the carcass of the goat would have to be burned outside the camp, because that meant it was offered to the Lord. I think Moses was also upset because of what eating the goat represented. Aaron eating the goat meant that he was taking the sin of the people on himself and bearing their sin. It represents what Jesus did when he died on the cross. He took all our sin and the punishment that we deserved upon himself. He was also killed outside Jerusalem, outside the temple, just like the goat's blood was smeared outside the tabernacle. Jesus basically ate the fruit. Jesus basically ate the fruit of our sinful nature, which is all our sin, and shed his blood for our sake on the cross and died to atone for our sins. Alright, now a quote from Isaiah 53, 4 through 6. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten by God, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the chastisement that brought us peace, and with his wounds we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray, we have turned everyone to his own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Isaiah 53, 4 through 6. The reason Aaron didn't eat the goat of the sin offering is because of what his dead sons did that very day. Did on that very day. Aaron was filled with the fear of the Lord and probably didn't feel worthy of eating what he offered. He understood that God was holy and righteous, and knew that he and his sons were so unworthy and flawed. So Moses permitted Aaron not to eat the rest of the offering. Alright, that's all the time we have for today. I really appreciate you taking the time to listen today. And I hope you learned something today. really hope it helped. Remember to comment, subscribe, and leave a like if God used to encourage you. And I'd appreciate it if you left some comments down below. I want you to let me know what you thought of the video. And if there's anything I missed, let me know down in the comments below. Alright, with all being said, thank you guys, and all glory be to Christ, He is alone. He deserves it all. Alright, see you guys in the next one. Next video will be Leviticus chapter 12. So, with that being said, good night.